So we'll see the different types of electrophilic substitutions now. So what is the point that you have to remember? That OH group is highly activating and the incoming groups will be directed to which position? Ortho and para positions the group will be directed. Now we'll see different types of electrophilic substitution reaction. First one is nitration. So nitration means you know which group will be attached to the aromatic ring. Which group will be attached? It is nitro group. NO2 group will be attached to the aromatic ring. Now we will see nitration of phenols. So general reaction I will write and then we will write the reaction together. Okay. Phenols. First it will react with dilute nitric acid, NITRIC, nitric acid, HNO3 at a low temperature say around 298 Kelvin to form a mixture of orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. It forms a mixture of orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. Now you know which is ortho position, which is para position. You know the structure of phenol also. That's it. We have to just remember what exactly the reaction is taking place and then it's just a simple thing to write the reaction. So write the structure for phenol now. Phenol is what? Benzene ring with OH. It reacts with dilute nitric acid at low temperature, dilute nitric acid to form orthonitrophenol. Say orthonitrophenol, if this is OH, in the ortho position, nitro group gets attached. That is orthonitrophenol. Write the name of it here. And paranitrophenol, benzene ring, OH group in the para position. Which is para position now? This is para, already occupied. Ortho, meta, para. So in this position you will get one more NO2 attached. Which is this? This is paranitrophenol. Now you have got a mixture of orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. You can separate the orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol isomers by steam distillation. So what is it? Ortho and para isomers formed can be separated by which method? Can be separated by steam distillation. Distillation again evaporation followed by condensation, in simpler words to say. So steam distillation, because out of these one of the isomer, say orthonitrophenol, is highly steam volatile. That means when you treat it with steam, then it easily evaporates. So you can collect it separately, isn't it? If it evaporates first, then that can be condensed and collected first. And this slowly, if it starts distillating, then it can be collected next. That is how. So here, how it is separated? It is separated by steam distillation, in which orthonitrophenol is steam volatile. Steam volatile means highly steam volatile. It can easily get evaporated, or it is volatile in nature. So how orthonitrophenol is steam volatile, you know? The reason for this steam volatile is due to intramolecular hydrogen bonding. What is the reason for steam volatile nature? Intramolecular hydrogen bonding. We can see intramolecular hydrogen bonding in orthonitrophenol, because of which it is steam volatile. Let us see how the structure or intramolecular hydrogen bonding we can show. So here As in the textbook, I'll be writing the structure. Remember, ortho position means now this is in one particular position. Next to that is ortho, right? So in the textbook, it is given OH here. I'll write it this way. OH. Nitro. Nitro group is written this way here. Okay. NO2. Oxygen is written like this. NO2. N2 oxygen, where one is double bonded. Now this oxygen and this hydrogen, nitro group oxygen, NO2's oxygen, and OH groups, this NO2's one oxygen and hydrogen of OH group forms a bond here. That is why within the molecule the bond has been formed, isn't it? It's not forming a bond with other one. Within the molecule it is formed. It is called intramolecular. Make a note, it is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Why? Within the molecule itself it is forming a bond. Bond between this oxygen and OH hydrogen. Okay, this is orthonitrophenol structure. Because of this it is steam volatile. The bonds can be easily broken. There is nothing like holding it from the other sides. It's just that the bond, this bond has to be broken so it can evaporate easily. Whereas in the case of paranitrophenol, I'll write it here. In the case of paranitrophenol, why it is less volatile to steam? Steam, you know, isn't it? It's water vapor. Why it is less volatile to steam? The reason is because it is due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So let us see how paranitrophenol. Paranitrophenol means, say, OH, and at one end you have O and O. This is paranitrophenol. So here this hydrogen forms a bond with the other molecule. Here how the bond forms, you know. Here HO, that is with one more molecule of paranitrophenol, the bonding will take place. So this oxygen, see here, between the oxygen of nitro and OH of the another molecule, the bond has been formed, hydrogen bonding. Again this oxygen further bonds with one more. So this oxygen means here there is oxygen, then NO, and here there is one more benzene moiety with OH. That is what it means. So here you can see it is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Between the molecules, the hydrogen bonding is taking place, because of which it is less volatile to steam. The bonds cannot be easily broken. I mean, it doesn't break soon like that of orthonitrophenol, and that is why it is less volatile to steam. It takes time. And it takes time for distillation also. This is a method by which these two isomers can be separated. Just make a note of it, and then we shall see what if this is nitration in the case of dilute nitric acid. Now a question may arise like, what if we add concentrated nitric acid? So this particular phenol can be treated with concentrated nitric acid also, but here instead of forming ortho and paranitrophenol, it forms tri-substituted compound. So phenol is treated, if it is treated with concentrated nitric acid, I'll give you the reason why. What will be formed? 2,4,6 trinitrophenol is formed. 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. We'll write the reaction of it. You know, 2,4,6 means in second position, fourth position, sixth position, 3 nitro groups. That means each having one nitro group with phenol. Okay, we'll write phenol is benzene ring with OH in the presence of, if suppose we treat it with concentrated nitric acid. Again, nitration takes place, but here tri-substituted product you are going to get. Benzene ring, OH. We are just writing a direct reaction, general reaction we are writing, not the mechanism here. And 2 position, which is the position here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So which positions you are having? Second position, fourth position, this is sixth position, NO2. When you write, see, you have to write nitrogen bonded to carbon. Okay, not oxygen bonded to carbon in the case of nitro group. What is this? The name is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Write it here. The other name for this is picric acid. What is the name? Picric acid. It is a common name. Picric acid is a common name for 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Now the question is, now how this picric acid can be prepared in other ways, because nowadays rather than considering a direct reaction with concentrated nitric acid, they first treat it with concentrated sulfuric acid and then they treat it with concentrated nitric acid. So hope this is clear how 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, this is a yellow colored solution, where of picric acid what you are going to get if suppose concentrated nitric acid is used. But nowadays what they do is they take phenol, they treat it with concentrated sulfuric acid, you get a compound of 2,4-disulfonic acid, or say 2,4-disulfonic phenol you get, and then this will be treated with concentrated nitric acid to form what? 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. What can be the reason for this? What can be the reason for this? Here, phenol, nowadays, then first phenol will be treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, giving 2,4-disulfonic phenol, that is disulfonic acid, you can write again here, acid. And then it will be treated with concentrated nitric acid to form 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Now, a question arises, isn't it? See, directly when you are going to get the product, why you have to go the other way around? Why? The reason is, see, this particular nitration reaction, always large amount of energy is released, that is large amount of heat is released during the process. So if we are using dilute nitric acid also, we saw that we get ortho and para substituted phenols, isn't it? Nitrophenols. In those cases also, a large amount of energy is liberated. So as soon as this phenol, because phenol has which group here? Phenol has OH group. OH group is highly activating group. So this OH group, what it does, as soon as it comes in contact with nitric acid, even if it is dilute nitric acid also, it releases large amount of nitrous oxides. Nitrogen oxides it releases. So large amount of fumes will be liberated. So to avoid dilute nitric acid, to some extent it's manageable. But imagine the same reaction with concentrated nitric acid. So with concentrated nitric acid, the reaction will be vigorous. Okay. So to avoid that, for that reason, what they do is, we want to block the activity of OH group. You understand? This OH group activity must be blocked now, because that is acting too much, right? OH. So what we do is, first we treat with concentrated sulfuric acid. So in the second and fourth position, you get SO3H, SO3H. 2,4-disulfonic acid we get. Now because of the presence of this SO3H groups, no, this will be a bit quiet now. Now you can subject it to nitration. You can try writing the reaction of it. Okay, I'll just help you. Phenol structure, however you know, 2,4-disulfonic acid means OH group, however, it remains 2,4-disulfonic acid, second position SO3H, fourth position SO3H. And then you know, you're treating with concentrated nitric acid, you're getting 2,4,6-trinitrophenol. Try to write the reaction of it. Okay, this is about nitration of phenols. We'll move on to the next reaction. Next reaction is halogenation. What is halogenation? Halogenation is addition of halogen to the aromatic ring, or introducing of halo group to the benzene ring is halogenation. Halogenation is introduction of any halo group, say ClBr or I, to the aromatic ring is called as halogenation, isn't it? So here we will consider a reaction, say we'll consider bromination. Okay, here in halogenation, bromination, in general if they ask halogenation also, you can write this, or you can mention X also there in that place. Phenols react with a general one. Phenols react with bromine in carbon disulfide. In carbon disulfide, the reaction, it need not be only in carbon disulfide. The solvents can be carbon disulfide or chloroform also. You know, this is carbon disulfide. This is chloroform. Trichloromethane. Bromine in carbon disulfide. You know what you are going to get? You are going to get mono substituted phenols. Mono substituted phenols. That is ortho and para phenols you are going to get. We'll see how. Okay. Phenol, we are treating it with bromine in carbon disulfide, two sulfur, so carbon disulfide. Now what are you going to get? You are getting monosubstituted phenols, that is, one is ortho-bromo, because we have taken bromine here. Ortho-bromophenol and para-bromophenol we are going to get. Para, ortho, meta, para. Bromophenols. So what is the name of this? This is phenol. Phenol is treated with bromine in carbon disulfide at low temperature to form ortho-bromophenol and para-bromophenol. Clear? Now you might feel like, if you remember the last year concept, you might have seen that this particular reaction was not carried out in the presence of carbon disulfide. Instead, they had used, instead of these, they had used some Lewis acid like FeBr3. Is it? It is a Lewis acid. Now, why in the case of phenols we are not using? In the case of benzene, the halogenation, generally halogenation reaction takes place in the presence of a Lewis acid, that is FeBr3. Why we are using is because we want to polarize the ring. We want to polarize the aromatic ring. For that reason, we take a Lewis acid. But in this case, we have not taken some Lewis acid here. The reason, because of the presence of OH group. OH group is highly activating. Therefore, polarize it. Therefore, ring polarizes, or say ring gets polarized even in the absence of Lewis acid. So OH group itself polarizes, because we have studied the resonance structure, isn't it, where the delocalization of the electrons takes place. So OH group is responsible for all those. We don't want some other group to come and polarize it. So OH itself helps in polarizing the aromatic ring. But in the other cases, like in the case of benzene alone, we want some acid like Lewis acid to activate the ring, or say to polarize the ring. But here it's not required, and that is why bromine in carbon disulfide or chloroform, a suitable solvent will be chosen, and then the halogenation process will be carried out. Okay, so the same process, what if it is carried out in the presence of bromine water? Let me write it here. So same bromination process, if phenol is treated with, again halogenation means addition of halogen. So here this is an example for bromination. So bromine in carbon disulfide, it forms monosubstituted phenols, bromophenols. Here if bromine water is taken, that means bromine dissolved in water. Here bromine dissolved in carbon disulfide. If it is chloroform, bromine dissolved in chloroform. Similar reaction you observe. Bromine water if you take, then here you get tribromofenols, that is tribromo substituted phenols, which is a white precipitate. We'll write the reaction, okay? The reaction is phenol when it is treated with bromine water or bromine in water, you can say. It forms, you remember in the case of nitration we had 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. Here it is 2,4,6 tribromophenol. 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6. What is the name? 2, 4, 6 tribromophenol, which is a white precipitate. It is a white precipitate. If suppose they ask you a question, which is the white precipitate form? Name the white precipitate compound that is formed when phenol is treated with bromine water. So these kind of reactions, they can give you for fill in the blanks type of questions. For the guessing of the products, they can give you these reactions. Otherwise, to guess the reagents also they can give you. So for those things you need to understand what is forming and under what conditions it is formed. I hope it is clear. This is of bromination, that is halogenation, electrophilic substitution reaction. Two main reactions, very important reactions are given, please note it, along with the reagents, and practice the reactions as many times as possible. We'll move to the next important one. Next important named reactions under phenols. It is named reaction under phenols. It's called as Kolbe's reaction. It is called as Kolbe's reaction. Named reactions are always very important. These are the common questions. Either directly they'll ask you explain Kolbe's reaction, otherwise they can ask you explain the preparation of salicylic acid. So the previous reaction, if you remember, the preparation of aspirin, it was from salicylic acid, isn't it? Now we are going to study how phenol can be converted to salicylic acid. Remember this way, okay? Kolbe's reaction means phenol getting converted into salicylic acid, KPSA. Kolbe's reaction means phenol getting converted into salicylic acid. So let me write a general reaction so that you can remember how. Here phenol will be treated with a base, sodium hydroxide. It forms a salt, sodium phenoxide, which will be treated with carbon dioxide followed by acid to form salicylic acid. We'll see how.